Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I did a poll on Instagram and Facebook about what video you guys wanted to see next, and this one won. So that's why I'm here. Anyways, if you hear kids in the background, it's because there are kids in the background. So yeah. I just finished my workout, so I'm a little bit sweaty. It's also like super muggy outside. So yeah, everything's uncomfortable, but it's fine, it's fine. As you can see by the title of this video, it's like my parenting techniques / style, and maybe I'll put in some tips at the end. Okay, let's just get into it. I really didn't read any like parenting books, which I think for me was kind of funny because I've totally read tons of pregnancy and birth books, but I kind of didn't read any parenting books. Not sure why that was. It just kind of happened that way. I just was like, oh, let's just, do our best, I guess. And I kind of feel like I sort of mirrored how like my parents kind of took care of me and my sisters, and how I kind of like visually wanted to be. And I guess for like the stereotypical kind of parenting thing, there's like that helicopter parent, and then there's kind of like the parent who like doesn't really watch them. I don't know what that one's called, the not watching parent, but I feel like I tried to do kind of like a balance. I definitely, one of my big things that I wanted to do was really let my kids have their own imagination and play by themselves or in a group with other kids. Like I really wanted that to be their own thing. My kind of mentality is like, I'm not their friend, I'm their parent, so therefore like I don't really play with them. Like I do obviously a little, but really most of the day they play with themselves. I have two boys. One is 4 and the other one is 16 months. Yeah. And so they play together or they'll play on their own. And a lot of people have kind of said, wow, how do you get them to play by themselves? Like they're really, like entertaining themselves. And my technique is just, I don't entertain them. Like if they're bored, go outside, play this game by yourself. My husband and I, we kind of teach them how to do like, I guess like worldly things, like we teach them how you could garden or mow the lawn or do the dishes, like things that they could use as they get older, how to dress themselves, that type of stuff. Like obviously we're teaching them that way, but I don't really feel like we should teach them how to play. Like that should be something that they learn on their own. So we kind of stay out of that realm and let their imagination just kind of grow. I do feel like I am more of that parent who kind of like lets the kids work out like tussles. Since I have two boys, I do feel like they get into like more rough and tough and fighting and that type of stuff, and I definitely just do more watching and see how they deal with like the sharing and taking stuff away. But there definitely are times where we have to be involved and well, you need to share with your brother, type of thing, and there's usually always tears. We're still working on sharing. I do think sharing is a very good thing to teach your kids. I've had people ask me, why should I teach my kid to share? And my response to that is, it's good for their moral character. You should learn to kind of put yourself last and others first, and sharing does that. So I think sharing is very important. Obviously, if there's a special love toy or something, it is going to be harder for them to share, and that's understandable because it's kind of like their one thing. But any old toy or new toy, we should definitely learn how to share with that. I guess like disciplinary actions, like I'm definitely like all for discipline. I think it's really important. I think kids need boundaries. I think kids push parents to find those boundaries, and I think that that's all a natural process of kids and parenting, is trying to figure out where to put those boundaries up. And I honestly think smaller kids need more boundaries, and as they get older, it's sort of like less and less, but like not less and less, but just different, where younger kids look at how far they can push the boundary. Whoa, it just got really sunny, so, you know, just deal with that. I think discipline is definitely important. I think that timeouts are really important. Even spanking can be important. I was definitely a kid who was spanked, and I think it was a good thing to an extent. Obviously, some parents don't do that and some do, and it's really up to you. But I think as kind of like a last measure, like that's something that can be used. Obviously, like there could be a whole nother video about that. But I do think discipline is important, and I think that kids who don't get disciplined and that kind of the parent just gives in to whatever, I think that's when you get that sort of like really difficult child. I think one of the biggest things in parenting is follow through. So that means child asks, can I have ice cream for breakfast or whatever? And you say no the first time because you know that that's not a proper meal. But then they keep asking and asking and pushing and pushing, and then you finally say yes. Like, that's where the child learns that if they just keep asking, they're gonna get whatever they want. So you as a parent need to just keep that constant, you know, nope, no means no. You're the parent, like you get to decide what they do or don't do. So follow through is super, super important, and it can be really hard. It is. It's really hard for the child. It's really hard for the parent as well. I think it's more hard for the parent because they're just like, you know, I just want all this like crying and whining and asking to stop. But that's when the timeout can come in, or taking something away, some privilege thing. So, but I think that's kind of it. Like, I didn't really want to get too much into detail because everybody's parenting style is different, and I don't want to say that your parenting style is bad or my parenting style is bad or better or worse, whatever. I just wanted to give you kind of like my general kind of parenting style and like sort of what we do here. And I definitely think it does become adjusted like here and there. It's kind of as they get older, and now that we have two, like we definitely kind of parent each one differently, but also the same as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions or anything, please leave them down in the comments below and give me a like, and don't forget to subscribe before you leave. Thanks, bye.